what I wanted to talk about this week was um, following all the news, all the bits of information out there, that one of the books that I have started reading is a book called The Obstacle is the Way. And it's pure coincidence that I started reading this yesterday. It fits in really well with what's going on. And I'll give you an example, if I may. I just want to read this paragraph to you, okay? And now, bearing in mind, this was written 6 years ago, okay? This is what really stuck out for me. When people panic, they make mistakes. They override systems. They disregard procedures. They ignore rules. They deviate from the plan. They become unresponsive and stop thinking clearly. They just react, not to what they need to react to, but to the survival hormones that are coursing through their veins. Sound familiar? Now, fear is fine. It's natural. It is an automatic response that we've had since the year dot. Imagine the last time you were going down a corridor, okay? And just as you got to the corner of that corridor, someone else was coming the other way around that corner. You had no way of knowing they were going to be there. They were boom, up there. And for a split second, this is what happens. This is why fear exists. For a split second, nanosecond in fact, you are assessing the danger. It was the freeze, flight, or fight, isn't it? You freeze, boom, for a split second. Your brain is then analysing, okay, is this an enemy, or is this friendly? Are they friendly? Clearly, unless you're really unlucky, there is no threat, and you mumble, sorry, my fault, and off you go, and you carry on your journey. Okay, so you were on your journey down the corridor, got to the corner, went round the corner, and someone else was coming the other way. Okay, so you freeze, flight, or fight. Okay, and that's fine. That's why we have fear. It was a safety measure, because in the days when we were coming out the caves and we're starting to look around us, and this starting to understand the world around us, we had a lot of different animals that wanted to eat us or wanted to run away from us. So what we would do is, when we heard a sound, we'd freeze, because we wanted to know where it was coming from, what direction. Or if we ran into an animal, okay, or an animal suddenly appeared somewhere, we'd freeze, again, to assess whether or not, if we stayed still, some animals couldn't see us. Okay, but if they could see us, right, that's time to either flight or fight. Okay, depending on whether or not we were out hunting, or whether we were just trying to get somewhere else. Okay, that's where it comes from, and it is a really difficult emotion or reaction to overcome. But here's the thing, you can, because our brain is not designed for the world we live in. We have no natural enemy. We don't go out hunting anymore, do we? So that's where fear has come from. It's a safety mechanism to keep us healthy, to keep us safe. So what's happened with regards to the shops being cleared out, and weird things happening, that people, a month ago, people are on their normal journey, going down the corridor of life, whatever journey that was. And then this virus started encroaching on their lives in some form. Others, it was just the news. Others, it was someone they knew. And suddenly, as I said there in the quote, suddenly they just lose all semblance of common sense. They forget things. They press the wrong button. they lose all self-control, and they go into the automatic reaction, okay, of fight. They suddenly decide to go and mass buy everything off the shelves for no other reason than they have lost that control, that reasoning. And again, it's an innocent program they're following. That's all it is. So if you know that, and you can see that, then you can see for what it really is, and you can observe what's happening rather than perceive what's happening. Okay? So you're observing people and understanding their misunderstanding of what they're doing and why they're doing it, rather than perceiving the outside in of what the media or what you're being led to believe is happening. That makes sense.
Right.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense to you. I'll be asking questions later.
Run away.
So, that's all for me this week,
Goodbye.
and from him as well.